Never challenge your DM. Bad things can happen.
As I hear everyone talking to the god, I'm looking at the map of the route we're taking. I'm like,
That's a
shoot, we're
long way to
going
go,
right
boys.
through the Trollclaw Hills. We're like,
Yeah.
we're the trip to Dragonspear is going to be merciless. What are we doing?
All right, so yeah,
Walking.
I'd like to remind everyone the shit. So just where you guys are, pretty much. Keep in mind, there's 9 wagons, and there's 3 of them belong to the cult. I believe Lucina's up on wagon 2, following our staying with our silk merchant. Most of our party's on wagon 7, hanging out with the Saralim brothers, who are moving wood carvings. At this point, I mentioned this briefly when you guys did the meeting with them. That one of the brothers did all the talking. By this time, you've been together for a few days. You know that the second brother is in fact mute and communicates only in sign language. And his brother pretty much speaks on his behalf for everything. And I believe Giovanni's on wagon 8, with a gold dwarf merchant who's moving some fine goods from to bring up to Waterdeep. And he's not the most pleasant gentleman, but that's where you guys are. Okay. So yeah, started day 4. We're gonna start doing this fast, rolling d20s. That's nothing happens day 4. What do you guys think you're doing on the road here?
Oh, I had a question.
Yeah.
There are cultist wagons, right? There's like 3 of them.
Yes. You've kind of identified them pretty quickly. You kind of recognize the people who are doing this. You kind of recognize what a cult member looks like at this point, and these guys are being awfully shady. They're kind of pushing other travelers away, and you pretty much know that it's wagons 3, 4, and 9 in this train.
Do they have like a rotation of guards, or is it the same guard?
They have like a team. They have like 1 teamster and like 1 guard, pretty much perpetually on each.
So they don't change out.
No.
Ah, shit. All right.
I mean, you guys are hired as guards, and guards are like, even though you're hired by individual people, it's kind of a communal thing. Like, you guys are expected to all be together, so you can interact and walk over to them if you want. But
I think I would be trying to play I Spy with Ratzael. I don't know if he'd be like going for it, but I'd be like trying just as we walk.
I spy something dead.
I'm really interested in disguising myself as one of the other cultists and seeing what's in there.
Langdodrosha walks up.
All right, yeah, you remember the...
Nope, I have a sworn.
I have better.
So I took the actor feat, so if I stare at someone for 10 minutes, then I can act exactly like
All right, well, then we can do this real quick. I think like a couple days into this journey, like, you get an opportunity where one of the cult wagons, like, the guard moves away, and you can get an opportunity to, like, kind of disguise yourself and walk over to the wagon, take a peek inside if you want.
Yes, I want to do that.
And what you see inside are, like most of this, like, everything's pretty much, like, covered in canvas in there. Like, it's kind of, most of the stuff you see is kind of, like, just covered up. Like, they don't, like, so anyone peeking inside couldn't really see. If you kind of, like, lift up, like, the tarps and stuff that are covering things, you see it's gold, it's treasure, it's fine, plates and silverware. It's just a lot of shit they stole from various towns that they raided.
So it just looks like a lot of the stuff they were taking from Green Nest?
Correct.
Okay. Taking it to a horde. Alright, I will relay that information to my pals.
Wait, Ratzael, did you say that they had fine plate or fine plates? This is super important to me.
Plates, like what you eat off of.
Man. Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. Never mind.
Well, I mean,
you
Virtus
really
eats off his armor.
Steal already stolen goods? Is that like bad karma or something?
Virtus eats off of his armor. I just died.
I like that we can rely on you for bad jokes that I can take away your inspiration for.
Ha! The joke's on you. I got none.
I know, you haven't earned it back yet.
So the next time you would earn inspiration, it's now negated. Like,
I'm not gonna be that mean.
Negative inspiration. You get to choose when you get disadvantage.
Okay. So yeah, you guys are doing your thing, and you're approaching the end of your first 10-day here. You guys are gonna get paid soon. And on day 9 in the afternoon, something happens.
You get a bonus?
No, actually, what happens here is Giovanni, your employer, who has been awfully frustrated with his horses, is getting. He hasn't been treating his horses well the entire time. And one of his horses has just collapsed. He hasn't been taking very good care of it, and and the horse it's just overtired because he hasn't been feeding it enough, or giving it enough water. And so the caravan sort of grinds to a halt as this horse sort of collapses, and you can hear him just shouting and swearing, and he says, these fucking useless horses. So, I don't know how they raise horses in the north, but this is just unacceptable. And he's like, I can't take this anymore. He starts cutting his horse. This horse has collapsed loose, and he started he's turning towards some of the travelers that are moving around, so he's offering to buy their horse off of them because he is not taking this horse with him. And pretty much this
I
horse.
feel like it'd be cheaper to just feed the horse, but okay, that's his decision.
I mean, Virtus, could you just carry the horse while it rests?
I'm weighed down by this new armor. I just don't know if
You
I'd
said
be
you
able
could
to.
carry 480 pounds. You can carry a freaking horse.
I feel like I'm not that great at math. They didn't really teach that in the order, but I feel like a horse is heavier than that. I got a hunch.
I just want to
Just move encumbered.
Just so we're clear, this horse is going to die out here if it just gets cut loose and left behind.
I thought he was selling it to the other travelers.
No, we're trying to buy off on a horse from another traveler, and he's ready to leave this one to die because it's going it's not doing it for him. He's not getting out of it.
I run up to the horse.
Okay, and he turns to you and he's like, "What do you want?"
Can I have it if you're not going to?
He says, "How much are you gonna pay me for it?"
Shoot.
He says, "Well, no, I mean, we're not. You can't have that. We're not sitting here waiting around for you to get this horse moving again. I want to get out of here, and this horse isn't gonna get us to the end."
So you're just gonna keep working horses to death, and then just keep hoping that someone's walking by to buy them? Because, I mean, these are the field of the dead. You might just find a zombie horse or something. That might be, you can't kill that with over exhaustion.
He says, "How I handle my horses is none of your business."
I mean, it kind of is.
If it affects the rest of the caravan, it is our business.
Yeah, it is. So.
And I think as you say this, a couple people kind of poke their heads back and say, "Yeah, what he said. You're being a giant pain in the ass the entire time that we've been moving so far." And he just sort of speaks up and he says, "If anyone wants to come tell me about how I should handle my pack animals, you're more than welcome to. And my friends here," and he gestures to the knight and mage who have been serving as his personal bodyguards, will be more than happy to discuss the matter with you.
Well, first, did you give it water?
I gave it some water.
Wait, did he gesture to me or did he just
No,
gesture
I
to
mean
the
you're
other?
hired as a guard, just on board. Like these two are his personal envoys, pretty much.
You guys ever seen the GIF of Homer Simpson like melting into a bush?
Yes.
Play it right
Yeah.
now.
Yes, I'm very familiar with that one. He might have loosely gestured towards you as well, because you were probably standing over in that general direction.
Versus like, oh well, am I supposed to be over there now?
I'll walk up, then I'll say, I'll give you 10 gold for it, just so we can get back on our way.
And he considers this briefly, and he's like, 30.
25.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion. 11.
He says 35.
Look, you're gonna take the 10 gold because otherwise the horse is gonna stay here. The horse is gonna die, and you're not gonna get any gold. 10 is better than nothing.
Make a persuasion roll.
Fuck.
I'm
Just
gonna
to
give it
point
to you
out,
with
that's a
advantage
2.
too, because this guy is obsessed with gold, and I think he's realizing that this is as good as he can get. He's like, I'll take the 25.
I'll give him 25.
All right. So and he quickly he cuts the horse loose and he sort of pushes it towards you, like almost like it just sort of falls over as he cuts it out of the reins. And he starts consulting with another traveler who happens to be on a horse, negotiating for getting their horse as his caravan pull. How are you gonna get this horse up and moving?
So is the horse currently injured? Or is it just like exhausted, like it needs food and
It's
water?
kind of exhausted and it's malnourished.
Well, I have lots of rations, so I will start giving it some rations.
Okay.
And I will turn to Taliah. Is there anything you can do to maybe heal the horse? I don't really know how nature magic works.
Does like cure wounds help?
Not necessarily, but I think like just like the what you guys are doing together, like I think it's helping the horse. Here's what I'll say. I think Nuhar Seralim, the guy who hired you, kind of walks up and he starts muttering out how insufferable this particular gold dwarf was, and he says, "Tell you what, it was a good thing you did it for a horse. Well, I'll help. I'll for just the cost of 1 10 day of your pay, I'll give you all the supplies you need to do this. And I think you're hired for like what, 10 gold per 10 day?
Me, I'm 8.
8. Okay, he says if you're willing to take the hit of the first week's of pay, I'll give you everything you need to get this horse up and moving in the next hour.
That's fine with me.
Okay, so yeah, you guys are. It's the middle of the afternoon. You guys are like everyone's kind of anxious to keep moving, but since this guy's busy negotiating with other traders to buy their horses anyways, no one's moving anyways, and like this sort of kind of get the horse some water and some feed and get it up and moving, and yeah, you now have a horse. Congratulations.
Oh boy.
And he
I'm
seems happy.
unaccustomed to horse riding.
We solved your horse puzzle.
Yes, you did. And you all get 300 experience points, actually. Because that's how that works, this chapter.
God, I love crippled horses.
I'm going to take that out of context and put it somewhere.
You mean like a clip?
Yeah. And
That's
on his
fine.
tombstone, it shall read, "God, I love crippled horses."
You know, knowing how this is going, considering that Vaughn got misquoted with my comment about Mondath's rug, I feel
Yeah,
like
she won.
someone else is just gonna get that one pinned on him too. So
Yeah, Vaughn's got that one. Vaughn, he wanted her carpet. Or Vertus, rather.
Mhm. All right. Yeah, cool. So the gold dwarf guy's kind of a jerk, and you guys know this more now. That's handled. All right. I think coming up here, you guys kind of every week or so, you have to sort of take a day off for the horses to sort of just rest, and um, everyone sort of hangs out. What and that day's coming up. What do you do with this day off? How are you guys spending it? Keep in mind, like you have 9 wagons, each of which has a variety of people on board. Probably averaging about 3 to 4 people per wagon, and you have about 2 dozen other travelers who are just sort of walking alongside with the of the caravan. As How do you guys think you spend your day off here?
mapping.
Okay,
Wow.
Did you say mapping or napping?
Mapping with an M.
I heard
Okay.
napping too.
I heard napping.
I
Well,
figured.
actually, to be
You're
fair,
real productive.
Mapping and
I
napping.
do both. I feel like I do like half a map, and then I take a nap, and then the other half of the map.
I would be I'd be helping Giovanni map, being his like tool caddy.
Ah, yes, you might want to use the fine tip brush here,
Dang it.
sir.
Just so you guys get an idea of how far we've progressed, we're about 9 or 10 days into this. You guys are about up to there. Dear.
All right.
I think Virtus would spend the day just kind of staying sharp, maybe practicing a few maneuvers. And while he's doing that, trying to like maybe assess the strength of the forces with the cult wagons.
Okay, so on the cult wagons, you guys like they've had like a dedicated teamster. This is a guy driving the horses the entire time, and they've only had one guard the entire time. And you find this a bit suspicious, seeing as how you figured they'd be traveling in larger numbers than pretty much 2 people to watch over it. Um, Actually, make an insight check just generally.
I think this is a setup.
It's
You've
Ramirez.
noticed that a number of the travelers, like so. Keep in mind, there's 2 wagons in the middle and 1 wagon in the back, and like the travelers have been moving in sort of like packs that are just sort of interspersed between. You notice that a number of the travelers that have been spending most of their time walking near the center of the pack have been not super sociable, and they've also been pretty watching the other wagon, the cult wagons pretty closely.
Do you guys remember the time when we went to the gosh, I think it was back in Green Nest, and we went to the mill and we got ambushed? It was a total setup for us. I think this is something similar. I think they know that we'd be pursuing them, and they sent a portion of the treasure up north in this caravan, hoping that we'd be trying to stop them.
Hmm.
Now I'm wondering
think-
who's. Okay, that wasn't my phone.
That was my phone. You think they're you think this is a decoy? You think they're going somewhere else?
Well, where
I
would they
think
go?
that they know that we'd be looking for them. I think they're wisening up a bit. I think that they're. I mean, they've obviously got more people in this patrol than what they're making obvious to us. But the other thing I'm starting to wonder is if they have other travelers walking against our path, almost as in an ambush, like checkpoints. So periodically they have more and more of themselves nearby us. If that makes sense, that's a poor explanation, but I do
it's like
I do
they're
kind of.
tracking us off the road.
I think that they're looking to almost take us out more than we're looking to take them out at this point. I think that they're tired of our shenanigans.
I mean, from what I could observe, I definitely know that a few of the travelers in the center have kind of, not really socialized like the rest of us. So I think there's more than meets the eye as far as the amount of guards they have on their caravan
All right,
Yeah, they
or their
could
wagon.
transform into
Giovanni,
something we don't
make an
want.
insight check for me. Okay, from this, you've also noticed the other people who have been paying very close attention to the cult wagons. You've actually identified that there are 5 in the middle of the group and about 4 in the back who have been paying special attention to the cult wagons. They seem to be sort of a undercover like guard force. Like they're outwardly not associated with the cult wagons, but they're clearly interested in keeping an eye on them. Of those people, none of them have been looking at the 5 of you, really.
So guys, this is what I think we've ought to do. And I've been looking at trying to do it myself, but I don't think I have the resources. I think that we need to find a way. Obviously, I would like to stop and ideally break their wagons, but if we could find a way to just either heat the metal of the coin in the wagon, or if we had some way to break one of the wheels, something to stop them, and ideally have valuable, some of those valuables spill out and really bring attention to them, I think we ought to put the heat on them. We know how many of them there are. Well, like, we have an idea of how many there are, but if we have an entire caravan guard, like how many men are not tempted by 3 wagons of coin?
I'd just like to remind you that the end goal here is to see where the stuff is going. You know, so
Oh,
Yeah, we're not here to stop them because we only know as far as they're going up to Waterdeep, or not Waterdeep. They were going towards Dragonspear. We just are going to Waterdeep because that's where the caravan was going. We knew they're going up the Sword Coast. Figured they were going to hit Dragonspear because otherwise they're just going to be hitting tiny little villages that are probably dirt poor.
okay, never mind on that one. Maybe
you
closer
guys,
to the end, I guess.
I was just before when I had a line going up towards Dragonspear, that wasn't like an end destination for it. I was just like having the line trail off there. You just know they're going north.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They were going up the Sword
Yeah.
Coast. They didn't have a specific point.
Right.
I just used intuition to assume they're going to hit Dragonspear or go through because there's not much else in the area.
Well, if we get, I mean, at that, if we could find a way to thin their numbers through spreading illness or something, just to get an ever slight advantage.
Straight into biological warfare, huh?
What, you want to go give them some blankets covered in smallpox?
Well, you guys act like this is a poor idea. I mean, if we could take off 10-20% of our opponents just by making them unfit to travel, that's strictly to our advantage. But if
My only concern is if they start dropping and no one else does, it may kind of alert them to us. That may kind of blow our cover before we get where they're headed.
Well, I mean, I could try to do some stuff. I can't. I do have that detect thoughts, part of my magic. Maybe I could. Maybe I could see what they're thinking while we're traveling every day or so.
I like that.
I would suggest doing that on the cart driver because they'd probably know the most about it.
All right. Well, next time we start moving, I'll see if I can get away with it.
All right. So yeah, I think that day sort of ends. You guys can kind of get back underway. Let's Let's see here.
I wonder if they'd also be planning to ambush the rest of the convoy, like when we're close to our destination. Wouldn't it be counterintuitive to their goal, anyways?
Yeah, I'd say just be prepared for something probably like 3 days from Dragonspear.
All right, I think okay, so about a day before, like on about day 11 here, um, you guys are about to move into the Troll Claws, which is this area of hills, and you come upon an inn. It has been raining nonstop for about the past 2 days. Let's see here, where's this page? And you guys, and everyone sort of agrees that it's probably best to stay inside the inn tonight. A, for the comfort of just getting out of the rain, and B, the horses really should be stored in stables here. Like the cold rain is really bad on the horses. As shitty as it would be to sleep outside in this weather, it would be real bad for the horses to do it. So you guys sort of you come upon the inn, and a couple of the merchants sort of head inside to start negotiating shared space for the caravan. And a couple of minutes later, they come out like outraged. They seem incensed and angry about something, and like word starts spreading that there are no private rooms available at the inn. Period. Sort of and like the one common room there is where everyone could have like sort of like bunked in for the night is supposedly booked up by a private party. And inside, you guys can like, and they started saying like we looked inside. There are 4 people in that entire room. Like this private party that is refusing us lodging is just it's 4 people who seem um who find it funny that we're going to end up sleeping outside in this rain, and they seem enraged about this. um and someone else sort of shouts up and says, well, what about the horses? Can we just get them in the stables? And they say, oh no, those are booked up too. Apparently these snobs are say that their horses are very particular about who they sleep with as well. They booked the entire stables for the night too for their 3 horses.
If I look through the window, do I recognize any of them in the slightest?
No, but you see 4 men dressed in kind of like hanging out near the door, like dressed in like noble robes, who are just laughing, who appear to be snickering at the growing dread among the caravan, who's upset that that there's nowhere to bunk down for the night.
How easily could I sneak around the back of the stable?
Oh, you're thinking the same thing I'm thinking.
Hell yeah, I am.
Make stealth check.
I'm doing the same because I'd be doing the exact same thing. I had the same thought.
Well, before I roll that, my question. God damn it.
Natural 1.
I was gonna say my question is it something? I mean, if we're talking a full stable on the side of an inn, I feel like it wouldn't even need to be that stealthy, which is why I asked. I mean, if you want me to roll a stealth check, I can, but
Well,
Well, I fell in the mud and I'm stuck.
you
Well,
could have
you
just
got-
said that you were gonna walk over there and try to be inconspicuous, but Lucina has taken it upon herself to go ninja mode and trip and fall and smash into everything. And I think they sort of peek over and say, "Hey, what are you guys doing near our horses?"
I was actually checking out the ground.
They kind of laugh.
I lost a ring. I lost a ring.
They kind of laugh and say, "Yeah, it does appear that you're checking on the ground as you kind of get yourself up. Your entire front is covered in mud right now. Keep in mind it's been raining heavily for the last couple of days."
I'll just stand outside for 20 minutes. It'll wash off real quick.
Do
I'll
they
tell you,
look
I'll make
armed?
a distraction.
I mean, they appear to have some swords, but that's not uncommon. Like for nobles to carry a sword at their side.
Are they armored?
They're wearing breastplates, but like again, you like it's not uncommon for for traveling people to just wear armor of some sort, especially if they have money. almost a status symbol in some cases. So you can't really tell whether these guys are especially competent fighters or not.
I nudge Virtus and kind of put my fists together. You want to try some pleasant diplomacy?
Wait. Is there like a leader?
I mean, yeah, there's one who seems to be sort of in charge of the other three.
I cast Charm Person on him.
Oh, okay, this is
pop
happening.
that in the chat real quick. So
Oh, he's gonna hate us now.
Yep. While she's doing that, just saying, I'm going to be trying to move my way towards the stable to cut these horses out.
And I'm just standing up and just like, well, I'm letting this rain wash me off because fuck dirt.
It's really cold rain.
Eh.
So what kind of this is what is it, a charisma wisdom saving throw? What is it?
Sorry, it's like giving me an error. It's a wisdom saving throw.
It fails. Okay, so let's see here. Charm person. I want the full effects of this.
So until the spell ends or until me or my companions harm it, it is regarded as a friendly acquaintance.
Oh,
Okay.
You're on the list.
So yeah, you kind of cast this, and he all of a sudden his demeanor changes. He sort of shakes off. He stops snickering with his friends, and he's like, and he kind of seems almost confused right now. What are you doing?
Hey there, handsome.
He says, "Good evening, miss. How are you?" And all of a sudden, like his three compatriots sort of stop and look at him kind of strangely as he greets you nicely.
I'm all right, but my horses are so cold, and it looks like you have some extra room here.
And he says, "Well, we like to make sure that our horses have plenty of space."
Oh yeah, I get that, but I mean, maybe I could talk to your horses and see if they'd be okay with other horses chilling with them.
And he thinks about it. He says, "Well, maybe." And like at this point, his other three people who are like, "What are you doing?" Like, and he's like, "Well, this nice lady needs shelter for her horses. It seems. How many horses do you want to store?"
How many do we have and how much room is?
There's probably 11 total horses.
How much space is there in the
There's enough room in
stable?
the stables. There's probably like about 24 like stable stalls. And there's only 3 horses inside already. So
Well, as many horses as could fit, I guess.
he says, "Ah, well that'd be all of them." And his other like the other 3 members of his like group kind of like grab him and like pull him aside and says, like, "What are you doing? Why are you helping this woman out?" And he's like, "Well, she's nice. I like her." What's like so they're kind of like muttering off to the side and stuff.
I'll like wave over to them while I would hope Virtus is like looking very intimidating behind me.
I will stand there and attempt to look intimidating.
And meanwhile, outside, I'm just standing in the rain, and I realize something now.
What's that?
I can hide in heavy rain,
Okay.
so I'm trying to hide now.
Okay.
Oh,
No, there's
God.
no.
Okay. Yeah, okay, you're hidden. What are you doing?
I'm just waiting to see if, in case something goes wrong. I'm just waiting.
Well, I mean, it's everything seems to be going fine. The other 3 members of this of the stuck-up group seem to be not keen on the
Wait.
fact that of their friend sudden change in heart.
Is everyone outside right now, or is it just me who's outside right now?
I mean, everyone's
Me
outside.
and
There's
Giovanni are outside.
there's
Okay.
no as we've said, there's no room inside apparently because these guys have rented out everything. So every member of the caravan is just sort of standing outside the inn in the rain.
Okay.
Right, and then like just up inside the walkway, Talia is kind of standing at the doorway trying to converse with these guys. While these three men have pulled their fourth member inside and are kind of like arguing with him off, having like a sidebar thing, and that's kind of the situation at the moment.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, because if the 4 noblemen were outside, I would be hiding, trying to get around behind them.
Right, but like
they're
they're inside
inside
the
them
inn
now.
right now. They can't like they're kind of preoccupied arguing with their fourth friend. So I mean, you guys kind of have free reign outside right now if there's something you want
Because
to
it's
do.
raining.
Yes, because it's raining.
Negative inspiration.
I don't need negative inspiration.
He just gets bad karma. He'll roll another one soon enough.
Oh, then what about those 16 I rolled the other couple sessions?
Fantastic.
You just live a great life, and then you bring all your bad karma to us. So they're just kind of arguing with each other?
Yeah.
Well, what do you want to do, Virtus? We can catch him by surprise.
I think at this point, some of the people who have heard the first guy say that, like, oh yeah, it's agreeable, have without like the members of the caravan are like, okay, let's get the horses inside. They start leading them in, like, unless someone's gonna stop them, they're just trying to get their horses out of the rain, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean the first guy said it was agreeable, so I say we lodge our horses here.
Yeah, and then once he, it becomes suddenly less agreeable, we'll just be prepared to deal with that.
Okay. So yeah, I think everyone starts moving their horses inside. And like, one of the other like three noblemen kind of like sees this happening at the door. He's like, "Hey, stop what you're doing! And you can't do that." And like everyone's like, "Oh, he said it's okay," and they just keep going and stuff. And like he's like shouting incense and stuff. Is everyone else just gonna let this go for a while?
I mean, I'm not going to initiate combat.
Okay, well,
I just want to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll tell you how it plays out. This is going on where like the three noblemen are like shouting and not happy with how things are going for about an hour.
Now.
When the
That
spell
seems like a specific time.
Got popcorn, man. This is great. Watch stupid people fight.
Wait. At 45 minutes, I'll cast it again.
How many spell slots do you have? How many
I don't want to tell you.
Well, here's the thing. I have your character sheet, you see.
Yeah, but
I
that's
know,
more work
but
for you.
that's cheating, and they have to go to sleep eventually.
They just fall
Okay.
asleep.
All right.
I can do it for 4 hours.
Okay. Well. Okay, you cast it at the 45, 50 minute mark. Well, I'll even give you 55. I think you timed it well. You know how long the spell lasts. You keep that going, and like this guy just keeps on insisting. Then, well, actually, he has to make a wisdom saving throw every time, doesn't he? So here, actually, second time, he had a 19 on that actually.
Oh shoot!
Oh, he's not.
So he
he's
saves the
not
second time, and it wears off, and he's been arguing with his friends for the better part of the last hour about how it's fine and we should help the pretty lady out, and all of a sudden, he has this. Like he's almost smiling at you, but sort of like regarding his friends with like no, this is good, this is fine. And all of a sudden that expression just sort of shifts away and it changes, and all of a sudden his face goes very flat, and at first there's a look of questioning and confusion, and all of a sudden it turns to rage, and he turns to you and he says, "You cast a spell on me."
Virtus!
I can't.
I'll walk up between them. We did no such thing. And as a nobleman, I thought you would be a man of your word. Are you really going to take back what you said now? Like, what does that say about your name? Like, you
Make
have an entire caravan behind you that will tell a tale of how this noble house turned away all these people after offering them lodging.
make a persuasion roll with disadvantage. And he says he says no. That's not how this is gonna happen. You don't get to cast spells on me to mess with my mind and tell me how I am to be perceived later on. And he draws his sword. Everyone roll for
All
initiative.
right, I was gonna
Actually,
do
wait for a minute.
something.
I was
I
gonna
was
do
I
something.
was
Well,
gonna
okay,
challenge
I'll
him
let
to
you-
a
Yeah.
gentleman's duel.
As he says, you don't just get to cast spells on me. I want to cast sleep on all 4 of them.
All right, cast sleep.
You can cast
Alright.
sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can. All right. So roll.
5d8.
I mean, that's better
Oh,
than what I was
whoops.
gonna do.
I did the command wrong. Hold on 1 second. 24.
None of
Could have
them
been
go to
better.
sleep.
Damn it. All right. Well, here we go, boys.
But
Okay, hang on.
What
Let me just. I have to move.
what
to
I
a
was
picture
gonna do
real
is
quick.
I was gonna use Mage Hand to pick up like a pot and just drop it on one of their heads.
It's also a sleep spell.
Maybe it'll just be like Skyrim. They won't be able to see us, and they'll just think we're gone.
They can't even realize.
All right,
it's on
how
their
are
They
shoot?
leave
I
it.
should probably need to move you guys over to the fucking battle map, don't I?
Giovanni, you want to duel?
Well, we know they have more than 24 hit points, so.
I mean, I'll do all 4 of them at once, really.
Oh, look at me. I'm a duelist.
You know, I think they're little wallflowers.
And just to remind you, I am hidden in the rain. They don't know where I am.
Just to
All right, dude.
remind you, I'm 1 spell slot down out of
All
the
right.
grand total of 3
How
I
are you
have.
guys arranged here? Keep in mind this is like kind of like right at the door. Like you, I think this is like in like an open room just inside the inn. You guys have some space to move around, but I think Taliah is probably near the front of this, seeing as how and Taliah and Verse were probably near the front. I don't know where everyone else was
Yeah,
arranged.
they
Yeah.
probably
I
be right
would've been-
here-ish, maybe.
Wait, so is the bottom the front or the top?
I mean, the guys are up here.
Top where the enemies are.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was zoomed in. I didn't see him. Duh. Okay. Yeah, I'd be in front of Talia.
Yeah, I'd be down probably here-ish because I was going to the stable and then messed up.
All right. Is someone else saying something before this gets violent? Or very violent, anyways?
I can assure you, you don't want to do this. But if
No,
you
no, boys, we
engage
don't need to
us,
fight.
if you
Giovanni,
engage
what were
us,
you?
we will defend ourselves.
What were you
Yeah, I
doing?
would challenge them to a duel, but I feel like that would just be massively boring to everyone else. So
Are you challenging? Are you challenging them to a duel?
I think it'd be cool.
sure.
All right. One of them sort of steps up and regards you and says, "A duel, huh? All right." And he agrees. I think this guy sort of steps off to the side. And these 3 back off. So I still want everyone to roll for initiative.
Can I go around and collect bets from everyone for this duel?
Yeah, if you want to.
The person that doesn't care about money wants to be the bookie.
Oh, wait, sorry, maybe not me. Maybe
I
someone else.
would love.
Nope, too late. Too late.
I would love to wager against Giovanni.
Yeah, you
Again.
can't find me, so I can't really jump in on this.
Where's my Misha?
Oh, good point.
Holy cow! Virtus just beat me in a initiative roll.
Never gonna happen again.
Yeah, in a duel, a one-on-one duel.
Yep. I roll high when it matters.
Me too. Oh wait, no. I mean, I roll low when it matters.
Okay. I'm gonna still skip Virtus here because I want Giovanni to have the ability to act here. So, what do Giovanni?
I'm assuming we've initiated all of the duel formalities, and we're just gonna start stabbing each other.
Oh
down.
yeah, he seems ready to go.
Yeah, you got your decks ready, all that stuff.
That hits. 9 piercing damage. He kind of takes this and he says, "Ah, you got some spark in you, huh?" I'm just gonna keep on cycling between these two until someone says that they want to inject. If that's all right with everyone.
For me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
no, I'm fine.
So this
Lucina.
guy's gonna grab his grab his long sword, and he's gonna try to swing at you two-handed. How does a 20 treat you?
Yeah, that hits.
Misses for me. So.
Should have picked
wrong
a
die.
champion.
That does 10 damage. And he's going to attack again.
Okay.
And that's
Oh,
only a 15
fighters.
that time.
Okay, I guess I'll repost that, sure. If I can remember where that button is. There it is.
Hits.
Ooh, baby.
So 10. Why is it 2 different boxes?
One's a superiority die, and one's his damage roll, I think.
Okay.
Correct. Is he gonna attack again, or I mean...
Oh, yeah.
Okay, stab him.
Oh, wait. No. He's not going to attack a third time. Excuse me. Yeah. That hits. Holy shit. You're rolling well right now.
All action surge.
Oh boy. My boy.
Oh,
Going
shit.
hard.
Get him!
I feel like
Okay.
Giovanni isn't even trying right now at this point. Like, this is... To be honest, this is just... folly.
The other 3 see this. He's well bloodied now, by the way. He's having a hard time. They draw swords.
As
seeing this
I see
happen.
them draw swords.
No, as soon as they do that, I put my rapier to his throat. I say, you take one step forward and I kill him. I'm sick of your shit. We're not playing this.
We're
approach,
doing this
I
turn
will.
order now. Let's see here.
Do I go first? Yeah. I don't
Uh,
even know what to do, guys. I've never
you
done
can
this.
act. Giovanni's gonna get skipped because he just took a turn. But yeah. How you doing this?
Oh man, I don't even know.
You have a shield.
Alright.
You just
Your
lock
friend
the door.
your friend is dueling. He's winning the duel pretty handedly.
Oh
and the
yeah, I'm not
others are-
bothering that. He's got it. So let's see. All right. I'm gonna walk up right here, pull out my sword, and just basically tell them if they take a step forward, they have to deal with me. So I'll ready an action to attack if they try to pass.
Okay. Also make an intimidation roll as you do that. They don't seem super impressed. How is Misha reacting to our 3 friends drawing swords?
Misha is going to growl and stand by Virtus.
Okay.
And
Have
I
Misha
guess
make an
ready in
intimidation check. And what action are you ready?
Bite if anyone touches Virtus.
Okay. Okay.
Damn
That
it.
was with the -2 for
I was gonna
Misha.
say with the -2 rolled higher than me. Damn.
Man,
Once
Misha's-
again, that 6 on charisma gets me every time.
Misha is as charismatic as Lucina. I just want that to sink in real quick.
That's pretty funny. Talia?
I guess I'll go stand by them.
I'll say these. Oh, excuse me. These 2 look pretty frightened, actually. The ones that are closest to Misha.
They should be. It'll be like a armor triangle. And already in action with my quarterstaff.
Okay. All right. This one's actually going to step up into you and try to attack Virtus. It's probably not going to go well for him.
Probably not.
He rolled a 19, which would be good against a mortal man.
Yeah, that misses.
And the one that Giovanni's dealing with is going... Oh, he gets multi-attack, excuse me. He's going to take another swipe. That's a 22. He's going to hit you. D10 plus 3. He does 8 damage.
That's to Giovanni, right?
No, that's to you. Multi-attack, sorry.
Oh, this guy multi-attacks. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So 8 damage.
That's correct. Now it's going to come on Giovanni.
Do I get to attack that guy back since I readied an action?
Oh, yeah, you do. Excuse me.
Yeah,
And I think Misha does too.
I think
Misha's
so.
not in
Well,
range.
Misa's not in
Yeah,
range. Yeah.
yeah.
Taliah is.
Hey, I'll hit him too.
That's a miss. That is a miss. So they'll both sort of clang off the armor there. No damage done there. Yeah, he does 8 damage towards you. Next, the one on Giovanni. That's an 8. That's a 14. I think both of those miss. You only get one riposte, but
Oh, you're right. Dang it, I forgot. That's annoying. Man, those are cool.
16
Well,
though. It is enough to kill him.
I don't want to kill him. I was actually gonna ask, can I spend that to just straight disarm him?
That's actually a different thing, I think, isn't it?
I know it is, and I know I don't have it, but I was just
I'll
throwing it out there
I'll
'cause
let
I
you
wouldn't
I'll let
want
you
to kill him.
sort of like smack him good, reduce him to 0 hit points, and have him drop his sword.
Okay, that's fine. Well, neat.
Okay, so he goes down. He kind of drops to his knees. He's sort of dazed, not quite doing. There's is there like what do you want to do now that you have him? Pretty much.
My
at your
duel
will.
was between he and I, and that's honorable. I've bested him. Now, if his foolish friends want to stand against Virtus, God, I can't say that. I'm laughing too hard. If they want to stand against Virtus and Taliah, then that's their problem. But I've bested my opponent.
All right. Yes, you did.
And I take his sword.
Okay, it's just a standard longsword.
Yeah, I'm just holding on to it.
All right. I think we can sort of break turn order here. I think the rest of them kind of see this happen and they sort of back down a little bit, especially because these guys were already intimidated to begin with. I just want to say, as you guys look at these guys now, you get the impression these guys weren't just pushovers. These guys were actually kind of tough, and despite that, you've dealt with them relatively well.
What
And
the
now they're
hell are
multiplying
those?
into demons or eggs or
They're actually
helmets?
people.
Those are knights.
Oh, I couldn't tell
Those
what
look
the
like
heck that was.
bears.
You gotta
They
zoom
do.
in.
They look
Yeah.
weird in the tokens. You have to zoom in
gotta-
real close before it looks
Yeah,
like something normal.
I zoomed all the way in.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, why did they make it an orc? The dark-skinned orc. That's hard to see from a distance.
But yeah, these guys were actually pretty tough, and despite that, Giovanni just fucking thrashed them.
I mean, I don't think they were all that tough. I mean, they just got intimidated by me off in the rain where they couldn't see that I had an arrow ready.
All right, they sort of backed down and said, "Okay, fine. We yield. Just don't kill us. Your horses can stay inside. We won't make an issue out of it anymore."
And you're going to pay for our lodging in the inn. That's really nice of you guys.
So
And you're
sweet.
staying in the stable.
I'll turn to them and
What'd you say?
I'll turn to them and say, "Oh, I'm sorry. Our horses don't like hanging out with other horses. I think you guys are gonna have to go somewhere else."
Make a persuasion roll with advantage. or intimidation if that's better for you.
I have persuasion.
I think they'd be the same unless he's proficient.
These guys sort of like they kind of just like quietly shuffle off, scoop their friend up off the floor, and start making their way for the doors. And yeah, they're out of there.
And
See,
I immediately go and pick up the sword that he didn't take.
I wouldn't be. I did take it, but
Giovanni took it technically.
yeah.
Oh.
I mean, if you want it,
Damn.
you can have it. That's fine. But
Cool.
yeah, here's your longsword. I would honestly, I wouldn't be telling them that they have to leave, especially after incapacitating one of them. That's not how it should work. We shouldn't be sending someone nearly dead into a storm that we don't want to weather ourselves.
Oh yeah, I just said they had to pay for our lodging. That was
Yeah.
my persuasion.
Well, I mean,
I was gonna make
Ratsael
them
has,
stay in the
has
stable.
convinced them if they err of their ways, and they're moving off. Unless you're gonna stop them from leaving, but
I mean, I guess if they're leaving, that's their prerogative. It's not what I would have wanted done, but that's okay.
I mean, yeah, they're making their way for the door. They're out.
Did they pay for our lodging?
They just left behind the room they already reserved, and like it's open now. You guys could just.
Yep.
Yeah, they reserved the whole inn, so great. It works for me.
Did they leave anything?
I mean, they had, like they didn't have that much stuff. It's not like they needed this room. They just wanted it.
They were just being dicks.
Exactly.
We didn't. We didn't even ask
him
him what noble house they belongs to. We just shot the
noble
cannon
house I
without
want
asking
anything
questions.
to do with.
So,
They were
anyways,
from the,
yeah,
they
they
were
sort
from
of
the noble house of Sir Runtaway.
yeah they quickly just like scoop up their friends, scoop up their shit, and like make their way towards the door. And as this happened, like a couple from the caravan sort of peek their head inside and says, "Hey, I just saw those guys just take off. What's up with them?"
Oh,
They decided to give us their spot. They had more pressing matters to attend to.
And
They got the room.
yeah, they could, the few people who sort of came to the door like kind of give you like an approving nod and like, all right. They quickly gesture outside. Hey, we have lodging for the night, everyone. Let's go. Like as people start coming in, most of the people, sans the cult wagon, greet you. Even some of the people from the cult wagon sort of like give you a smile as they come in. Everyone seems pretty pleased that you've pulled this off. And with that, you each take. How
20
many experience
damage.
points do you need to get to the next level here? Actually,
I don't actually know.
1900.
jeez.
We each get 1900 experience. Awesome.
I'm just. I don't want to accidentally put
actually,
you
we
guys
gained
to level
1899.
to level 6 by accident or something. I mean, it's 300 for the encounter plus 14.
We need to have
28 divided by
6,500.
5. I mean, no, I'm just gonna do the math. 28 divided by 5.
Can we leave that gold dwarf out in the rain?
No, we can't.
You can
Our
try.
employer?
Hey, that's your employer.
Not mine.
He
Yeah,
probably
I mean,
employs
I'm just
somebody.
saying.
860 experience points for each of you.
860.
God, I don't. That's math. Where's my calculator?
Not my employer.
All right.
5515 for those that shot the dragon. It's 6,500 to get to level 5, so we're about 1,000 away.
Wait, how much experience did we just get? 800 and
860.
860? Even?
860 in chat.
Okay.
It's a number. It's less than 900.
I mean, I don't think we would hit 6. It's like
Oh, I mean, we're not done yet.
700,000.
I'm just talking about you're supposed to hit you're supposed to hit 5 by the end of this chapter, but I don't want you to hit 6. That's. But...
We would have to really do some
Okay.
work to hit 6.
All right, good. That's
Yeah,
good.
it's over.
I just
we'd
feels
have
like
to
a lot of
overdouble.
experience points. That's all. I just want to make sure I'm not
14,000.
screwing this up.
14,000.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what you guys are talking about. I got a bonus 500 for winning my duel. I'm pretty close to 5.
No. That's a hard no on that.
I mean, Honestly, I could have taken the shot, and I chose not to.
I really, really wanted to hold person someone and then just wail at them with free
Well,
crits.
tell your teammates to stop killing everyone in one turn of combat.
Well, I mean, our duelist had to assert himself.
Not
I
something
mean-
I would complain about.
How much XP are you at, so I can make sure that you're
55-15.
even?
Same here.
Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
so we're at 5490.
Yeah, because you were cowards and didn't fight the dragon.
Wow, we only fought the dragon
90.
because
How
I
does
made
this
a bet.
happen?
Actually, I was going to take a shot, but I mean, I probably was
I-
going to miss if you didn't make the bet.
You did take a shot.
And then
I
I
did.
lost all my gold.
Yes, you did.
No, I said I would have taken the shot even if he didn't make the bet, but I probably would have missed then.
Yeah, to be fair, I watched that VOD. I think I readied a spear before the bet, so I intended on doing it anyways. You
did.
just bet me I
Yes.
couldn't hit it. You just bet
That's
I
why.
couldn't hit
That's
it.
why I gave you. That's why. That's why I gave you inspiration. That's why I gave you inspiration too, because you were already
Yeah.
planning on throwing it, and then Ratzael baited Lucina in with the bet. That's why you both got inspiration there instead of just Ratzael.
All right, so we go in the end.
Yeah, and you guys have a lovely evening, not in the rain. And not
Did
dealing
those guys have a name, by the way? Did they have name?
not one that was important.
They were the Frankenmoons.
Well, I was just curious because if they actually had like relevance in the Sword Coast, then it might fill up a gap in my bonds. But if there's not really
No.
like if there's not a set one, okay, that's fine.
And if they did, you don't know about it.
So
Stab first, ask questions later.
Well, I would assume that they were wearing like some family sigil or something, but it doesn't.
They
really
weren't
matter.
actually, weirdly enough.
they don't have a family. It's really sad. You just brought it up, you dick.
Actually, these guys were just wearing fancy clothes and had enough money to be a dick, so they were being a dick.
Oh, so they're like university students.
Yes.
Sure.
Just kidding. University
Except
students.
They
that
have money. That's the difference.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Anywho, yeah,
Claws.
Yep, troll claws time.
yeah. You guys are moving up through the mountains. Nothing happens that day, or that one, but maybe this one.
I was about to say, man, we're really good at being guards. We're scaring everything off.
Well,
Well, I definitely don't scare anything. I'm a
Yeah.
blue elf.
I mean, I would be scared of a giant Papa Smurf walking around, to be honest.
I probably look like a bear snack right now. I'm all long and lanky.
Nah, they don't want that. They want the nice fat stuff.
I am trying to work out as much as I can to like fill out my now stringy body.
How much do you weigh, by the way?
Not enough. I weighed 105 when I was shorter. Now I weigh 105 and I'm like, what? I'm 5'7" now. I was 5'1".
That's not
Okay.
healthy, bro.
Okay,
No,
I
it's
just wanted
not.
I just wanted to point something out. You were 5'1", and I was taller than you for the longest time. You are now just 1 inch taller than Lucina.
More push-ups with Misha.
That's right.
okay. So let's see here. What day is it? Day 14, I think.
It's payday.
Oh yeah, you guys did get paid, by the way. That being said, one of you traded your first weeks of pay for something.
I traded the first weeks of pay for horse rations.
That and someone.
Ducks.
Yeah. Yeah. she
Yes,
gets-
the ducks.
it's
That's right.
wooden
That's what it
ducks.
was. It was the ducks. I knew it was something else. I couldn't remember what it was.
How many do I get?
You get 2 ducks.
Nice.
She's building an army.
They're wonderful ducks.
She has a
We're gonna
horse.
We're gonna
ducks.
put wheels on them and attach them to her waist, and they're just gonna follow her around.
Take him to a wizard, make him quack when she moves.
I
That's
love it.
great because that's something she would actually do in real life.
shit! What did I just say? Oh yes. As you guys are kind of walking along, all of a sudden, one of the who is it though? Which one of the people?
Is it the dwarf again? Because at this point, I think we're just
It's
better
not
off
the
without
dwarf. Fuck the dwarf. We're done talking about the dwarf.
him. Yeah, we didn't wake him up at the inn, so he's still there.
Who's a shithead that I can use for this purpose?
Virtus?
Ooh, rude.
No, that's not what I was.
Harsh.
Wasn't referring to our own. Anyways,
I
for
cast
one
sleep
like
on
our
him.
boy.
I would have loved that maybe like 6 hours ago.
why didn't I think of this beforehand?
Do you need a name? I can tell you the name real quick.
I think just one of the travelers who's moving alongside of the wagon walks up to Ratzael. He says he's wait actually where do you store your chain whip?
Oh, it's interdimensional.
It's an interdimensional space. You
It's
can't use that.
gone. I have some weapons on me though.
One of the travelers walks up to Taliah and sees your guard drake, and he says, "That's quite it's quite the thing you have there. How did you manage to train that thing?"
Lots of jerky, and I give Misha a piece of jerky.
He says, "Oh, it's quite good." He's like, "How much would it cost for you to part with that thing? I'd like to have one for myself."
I'm sorry, did you say thing?
He kind of he says, "Yeah," and he kind of just sort of disregards you.
Sorry, did you ask how much?
Yeah.
He's not for sale, thank you.
I mean, surely he's for sale. Everything has its price.
Nope.
50 gold?
Honey, I turned down like thousands of gold for some other stuff, so no.
I walk up next to them. She doesn't even know what gold is for. You're kind of beating your head against the wall here, man.
Well, perhaps one of you fine gentlemen can negotiate on her behalf. I'm sure we can find a fair price.
Nope, nope.
I mean, I can negotiate with this, and I phase in my whip.
Oh man.
Sure, I'll negotiate on her behalf. He's not for sale. I think that pretty much rounds out our negotiations.
It says
Yep.
everything has a price. Surely I must be able to find a way to accommodate you.
250,000
Can I insight check him?
gold.
What's that?
Can I insight check him?
Sure.
I want to know if he's one of the cultists.
Yeah, that's
I have no idea.
that's
No,
a
you
little sus. Give me a quick second.
Yeah, everything might have a price, but Misha isn't a thing to us.
He's not a cultist. He seems to want. He just wants the fucking dragon. The drake.
All right, in that case, I'd probably just stop, let him. Since I assume everyone's walking with him, just like let him catch up. Like, yeah, so you want to buy this? Okay, let me just. No, you got too many teeth there. You got to punch a couple of those out. Just shut up about it.
Well, he's like, okay, fine. As the day goes on, he keeps on coming back. He says, "I'll give you 1,000 gold for it. I want this thing."
Nope.
Hey,
Sir, I will get a restraining order. Please leave me alone.
No means no.
He keeps on like every hour or so he comes back trying to offer you something else. It's surely something you want. What's it, if it's not gold? What's important to a woman of such as yourself?
The next time he comes up, I punch him in the face.
Make an
I was
attack roll.
going to do the same thing.
Make an attack roll. Add your strength. Hello. Did I lose
Sorry, I'm
everyone?
like really bad.
I think if you just click on strength.
Yeah, it should.
Oh.
All right, yeah. You roll d4. Strength modifier.
D4 plus 1 then, so.
All right, yeah, you give him next time he opens his mouth to offer you something, you give him a swift uppercut, and seems to bite his tongue a little bit from that, and he's bleeding a little bit. He kind of whimpers off. He says, "Fine, it's fine, okay." And he leaves you alone for the day.
Then
Sitting around the fire at night, he seems a little bit displeased with he regards you not so warmly.
Good. I'll watch Misha very carefully and put him
well,
on
now
his
that
leash.
he's lost a tooth, he can try and negotiate with that. Okay, I'll give you this molar here.
You watch Misha very carefully, you said?
Yep, he's on his leash and he's like right next to me eating jerky.
Okay. Fair enough. That's kind of the end
He's
of that,
not gonna
actually.
try and steal my guard drake.
Yeah, set Drake to guard mode.
Okay.
He can try. He's just not going to succeed.
Yeah,
Heck,
tomorrow there's just
Misha
a
could
bloody
probably
mess all
kill him
over.
out, right?
What's that? Giovanni? Did you say something?
That heck, Misha could probably kill him outright.
You're probably not wrong.
But
All
Come
right.
on, Guard Drake, chomp.
None of you have all that so much stuff you consider super valuable to yourselves. I think that was the most valuable thing I could have found to any single one of you.
Yes, but you picked the wrong person.
True.
yeah, the only thing
All
I
right.
have, he would have been able to see it.
He doesn't try to talk to you for the rest of the trip. He's not so fond of you anymore. Anyways, how are we doing here? That was day 14. Nothing. 15. 16. I'll start slowing the rate of this down a little bit. What happens? Alright, you guys have sort of moved through the Troll Claws. You're moving back onto the Greenlands beyond. I'm going to move us up to about here. So, it's a beautiful morning. You guys have just sort of started moving for the day. And you've made it through the Troll Claws, this sort of hilly, craggy environment. It's been a little bit tough getting through. And you're moving downhill now. And you got some nice green lands for a little bit before you move up into the High Moor, or adjacent to the High Moor. And on the side of the road, a herd of deer is there, sort of enjoying its morning graze, up on a nearby hill on the side of the road. And like this isn't so new. Like a lot of members of the caravan would take this opportunity to go off, like do a quick hunt, so there'd be meat for the journey.
I was just gonna say I become a deer, but never mind.
But unusually, among these deer is just beautiful, magnificent stag. It shimmers in the morning light as if its coat was spun from gold, and its antlers appear to almost be plated with platinum. It's just this shiny deer, right?
Oh man, I'm
And
getting the weirdest sense of
and everyone in the caravan's like, the hunter spots this first and go, hey, everyone look at that. Like, and all of a sudden, like, everyone in the caravan's looking at it, and pretty much anyone who knows how to handle a bow is grabbing their bows and says, oh, I want that fucking deer.
No.
Let's see here. A couple people from the caravan start to speak up and says, I mean, clearly that deer is special. It's magical of some sort. Killing it would bring horrible luck on the rest of the caravan. And like a few like a handful of people sort of consider this and like, yeah, maybe you're right. But everyone else is like, no, I'm taking that deer down. That thing's going up on my up on over my fireplace.
I sneeze really loudly.
You sneeze really loudly.
Yeah, like stupidly loud.
Okay,
aren't
you
that
sneeze,
skittish.
and that's not like a cough, cough, cough. That so everyone disregards you.
Deer
These are
aren't that
stupid deer.
skittish.
Fine, shoot them. I don't care.
How far away are they?
Stupid magical deer.
I mean, you get the deer is probably a couple hundred feet away, or a couple hundred yards away, actually. But yeah, like half the caravan sets off with their bows trying to like get a bead on this thing, and the deer sort of take off into the woods. But everyone's still chasing.
I will cast Eldritch Blast in front of the party.
To like try to slow them down. What's your intention
Like
here?
in front, like when they're running, I want to just get their attention.
All right. As you start to take off, you do that. I'm not even gonna make you roll for this. Like, and everyone starts to says, "Hey, what was that about?"
We're not chasing the deer. We have places to go. God knows what's in these woods. You really want to abandon the caravan for a chance at giving us all a curse?
Make a persuasion roll.
Ah.
Everyone sort of like looks at you and says, "Yeah, we're gonna get the deer," and they just turn off and start sprinting away.
How many of the cultists left?
Several of them, more than half. They want that deer too, dude.
I'm gonna become a deer.
Okay,
And
you are a deer.
okay, and
Okay.
then can I outrun them into where the deer went?
What's a deer speed? Where are your wild shapes? There's one.
50 feet.
Hot damn. Okay, you're sprinting away. Yeah, you guys, you start breaking into the woods. You're a good portion ahead of the party.
So she's never wild shaped in front of us before, right?
Can I
That's her
kind of do
first
that
time.
discreetly?
You could, I suppose. Yeah. I mean, everyone's sort of not paying attention. So
Discreetly turn.
you're gonna be a fucking deer next to the caravan, but
Where the fuck did this deer come? Where's Talia?
Okay,
Holly
wait.
went behind the thing, and then a deer walked by. It was weird.
I'm gonna cast invisibility and then turn into a deer and then run.
you can't concentrate on the spell while you're in wild shape.
Dang it.
Okay. Quick question.
What's up?
Is the deer that everyone was going after, is that obscure? Does anyone see it at this point? Is it in the woods? Gone?
No, you like it's gone into the woods. You'd have to sort of suss out where it went.
I have a better idea just because I see how much this means to Taliah before she disappeared and turned into a deer or whatever happened. I don't know at this point. But I got this little magic thing right here called silent image.
Uh-huh.
So basically I can make an object that looks like the deer and just have it run in a complete misdirection.
60 feet. That's
Yep.
the range on that. The thing was a couple hundred yards away when we started.
If I'm running with the group and in the back is what I'm saying.
Okay.
As a misdirection.
All right. What's your plan here? Are you guys just trying to lead everything away from the deer? Or are you chasing deer? What are you doing?
Yes, I'm trying to lead away from the deer so that we can get over this, because I don't think that it'd be good if, I were to come back with what Taliah's trying to save.
Okay.
And it's good to get in people's good graces.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Yeah.
Okay, I think as you break into the woods, everyone can sort of like see the tail end of the deer, and they just keep chasing. You're gonna. I think the deer is still a couple hundred yards ahead. or about 100 yards or so ahead. Talia, where are you going?
I want to go tell the deer
Okay.
to get out of here.
All right, make a survival check with advantage, I think.
Okay.
Because you're a deer.
Oh, do I make that from deer form?
No, because your wisdom stays the same.
I'm real good.
Oh no.
Okay.
Rip.
This is not going our way.
Hey, we're all failing at what we're really good at.
I think you don't get a great beat on the group. Like you kind of stumble, like trying to find their trails. And as a result, you can still follow. But I think the rest of the hunting group has seen you sort of like establishing this trail. Now they're chasing you. You are um they're coming after you. I don't I don't think the silent image. Let's see here. Visible from long 15 feet cube.
It doesn't make sound; it's just an image. But
It's purely visual. It doesn't come. I mean,
So it's just a hologram.
basically,
I know, but you're still really close. I'm trying to think if it would be reasonable if you did this. How would they react to it? Because you're like,
Well, they have to make an investigation check.
right? Okay,
Against the
yeah,
spell
they
save.
they will. They will make an investigation check.
against
I
the
guess
14.
they fail. I mean, they see your deer and they go straight at the deer. All right. How far? Where'd you make this thing?
I would have made it like going away from everything, like not going directly away, but like kind of like doing an offshoot, so it kind of leads them away further over time, and then after a while, just have it go behind some tree and then just cancel it then.
Okay.
Do,
I think this slows everyone down briefly as they try to spot this thing. Talia, make another survival check. All right, yeah, you managed to pick up the trail. And you're following it towards a like a you see some ruins out in the forest. There's like it's mossy, it's like draped in ivy, and you sort of see um the golden stag sort of disappear into these ruins.
Do I see any druidic symbols or language?
Nothing in particular, but you kind of get the idea this is kind of a mystical place. Um, it's not. Well, actually, are these strictly speaking? Uh, yeah, I think like you get the impression that this was a secret, a sacred druidic area. Um, but like this is you get a very spirit of the forest vibe from this deer.
From the deer or the place?
Both.
And are the deer like chilling or are they leaving?
All the other deer are gone. You just saw the the sort of golden deer go into these ruins.
Okay, I will get out of wild shape and cast invisibility
Okay,
and go into the ruins.
make a stealth check with advantage.
Out of curiosity, did we all chase Virtus?
I don't know. Did you?
Did we?
I would have been on my horse, which I assume is better now.
Oh yes, I forgot about your horse.
Virtus, Lucina?
What?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would have like tried to chase after the hunting party, or
I-
like keep up with.
Would we have known that Lucina cast a spell?
I don't know. Would you? Because I've never
I don't
shown that
think
I could do
I
this.
don't think I would. So I think I'd have to make an investigation check too.
Probably.
What's your DC on your spell?
AC would be 14, so you didn't.
Okay,
You didn't
so
pass
I
it.
think I think it's real. So I'm following, shouting at them to leave it alone.
Okay. You're shouting at them to leave it alone. Did anyone else follow in? Lucina, what did you do
lead away.
after you sort of misled these people?
I would just kind of like slow down, like I can't find it, guys. I think we should go back. Can't get too far from the caravan.
Okay. You're just sort of encouraging people to get away.
Yep.
I cast Thunderclap to further dissuade people from coming in.
I mean, they're back right now. They can't see you.
Yeah. They don't know where you are. I led them astray.
Okay, never mind then.
Okay. Did anyone else what did Virtus do during this time?
I'm just trying to keep up with the hunting party. So yeah. I mean, that's basically what I'm doing right now. Is just keeping up with the group.
Okay. Do you want to make an investigation check to see if you if you could see through this illusion?
Sure. Nope.
All right, Lucina's fooled everyone.
I'm the trick master.
That's like a challenge now. What were you rolling? Investigation?
Yeah, it's gonna be
You have to beat a 14. It's not that bad.
All right,
Giovanni knows
Giovanni,
what's up.
you know it wasn't real. I don't know what you do with that information.
I think to myself, that deer's not right. And I guess I keep walking, and I guess I'll keep kind of walking through the forest in the same direction that we were chasing initially. Like, I don't know. I guess everyone else branches out, and I was like, well,
make a survival check.
weird. I'm gonna just get lost in the woods.
Screw you guys. I'm having my own adventure in the woods.
Yeah. I mean, you know that these guys are along the wrong trail, but you're having trouble picking up the trail that the actual deer went down. Let's snap back to Taliah here. What's Taliah doing?
I will go into the ruins, I guess.
All right, and inside you see just the golden stag. They're standing by itself. It hasn't seemed to have noticed you because you're invisible.
Yeah. What else is in the room?
It's just like imagine like just like a very forest temple type thing. The roof is sort of collapsed in. It's kind of just like rubble of stone pillars and walls, and it's just sort of standing there. It's just this mossy, ivy covered room, and there's nothing else there really.
I will take off the invisibility and cast Speak with Animals and say hello.
You say hello in deer, and what you hear in response is Sylvan, actually.
Sylvan.
It says
Which I know.
Yes, you do. I know this because I checked your character sheet before we started this conversation. But yeah, it says, "Greetings, Druid. How are you?"
Well, and yourself?
It says, "Well, I've been better. I don't like it when people try to hunt me down and kill me. I don't suppose you're here to do that."
No, I apologize for their rudeness.
He says, "I'm used to dealing with such things from travelers coming through." And he says, "I actually have a message for you." And and he sort of goes into like almost a prophetic sort of mode where he starts speaking. And he says, "You're on the right track. You must continue following the river of gold until you reach the castle in the sky. Sadly, your path will be filled with hardship and blood. Um, and it says, I can offer you this to help you and your compatriots. And as it says that, just like apparating on the floor is like a bow of it's almost like it's it's almost like ghostly. It's like see through. It has like solid form, but it kind of like moves in wisp. It looks like white and milky. You can't like, and it's not like it looks like if you tried to grab it, your hand would go through it, but it actually is a solid object. Um, so that bow appears on the ground and it says, and the stag starts to fade from view and says, "Not all will survive," and it disappears, and you're standing there by yourself with a bow on the ground.
Man, you hated my sling that much.
It's not even necessarily for you. You don't have to keep the bow, but
I
It's not like
will.
you have an archer.
it is a long bow, by the way. So I don't even know
Okay.
if you're proficient in that. Are you proficient in longbows?
I don't think
Let me
they are.
see.
I'm checking.
I
I'm not
wish Vaughn.
proficient in any bows.
Nope.
Clubs,
Well-
daggers, darts, javelins, maces, stab,
Well, I got a bow.
slings, spears.
Rip.
It's okay. Is there any arrows with it?
No, there isn't. It's just the bow.
I'll go and try and pick it up because it looks
You pick it up. It's
invisible.
solid.
I would say thank you to the, I guess, non-existent deer.
He's gone now.
You're holding the deer now.
It's not a
Okay.
sentient bow, if that's what you're thinking.
That'd be weird.
That's a thing. It's not a thing today, though.
I'll just spend a little time in the temple, I guess. Praying a little bit and then draw like a druidic symbol and of like sacred place, and respect. And then go and try and find my party.
All right, I think like it's been about like 10 minutes or so, or maybe I don't know. How long do you think would you spend inside the temple?
Oh, like 15.
All right, yeah, after like 15 minutes or so, everyone who rolled really poorly on their survival checks, who could not find the trail of these deer, have sort of like they've sort of like they fanned out to try to sort of find these deer and come up with nothing, and they're sort of coming back together now. And they're like, okay, well, shoot, that would have been so nice to have. The coat alone would have made the finest clothing.
Oh, I will hide my bow as well.
Okay.
How do you hide a longbow? That thing's
Don't
like
ask
4 feet.
questions.
It's more than that. A longbow's like 7 feet. It's huge.
She cast invisibility on it.
It's ghostly. Maybe it's already invisible to others.
Anyways, it looks almost like glass. Like you can see through it. It's weird. Anyways, yeah, you sort of reconvene. And they're like, people see you and they're like, "When did you run into the woods? We didn't see you at all."
Oh, after you guys went and we were in different directions, I had my own ideas and got lost as well.
All right, I'm like, okay, well, let's all travel back towards the caravan, and we're sort of like, groups back up and starts heading back. I think the 5 of you, did all of you run into the woods? I think you did, right?
Yeah, I guess. Because I think everyone tried to see through my illusion, and only
Right.
Giovanni did.
Everyone's sort of like berating Ratsael a little bit for like for distracting them while they were trying to like track this thing down. And everyone sort of grumbled, and they're kind of sad they didn't do this. But yeah, you got the 5 of you are together, sort of near the back of the pack as you rejoin the caravan.
Yeah, I'd hang back and just talk to Taliah. I made sure they wouldn't find the deer, and just give a thumbs up.
Thank you.
Okay, are you doing anything with that bow?
Not right now. I guess like at nights I'll kind of just look at it and I don't know, perceive what it is more.
All right. Well, let's
Arcana check, maybe?
let's say that you guys sort of get to the end to the end of the day there, traveling some more. Yeah, make an Arcana check. Yeah, you're not entirely sure what this is. Are you like, what are you doing with like? Are you like just like examining it? Are you like doing anything with the bow?
I'm just
Are
like
you trying
examining
it
it.
out? What are you doing?
I don't have any arrows, so I just like play with the string, I guess.
Okay,
I would-
actually, incidentally, you sort of you don't have any arrows, but you pull on the bowstring once, like as of like mock shooting an arrow, and an arrow appears on the string as you do this.
What the what?
And this probably surprised this probably surprised you to the point where you jump and you do this and you let go and a solid arrow lets loose and flies off into a random direction.
I like freeze and then kind of set it down for a little bit.
Okay, I think I would have seen her playing with the longbow because I have one of my own, and I'm like, okay, I'm scared because.
Are you
she doesn't
sharing your
seem-
longbow treasure with anyone? Are you discussing this with your party members at all, or is this your bow?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, yeah,
Have you-
that's what happens when you're playing with the bow, and you
And
can't
I'd be
really
like-
figure out exactly what it is yet. But
I'd be looking at that like, you don't. That's danger. That's.
I'm
It takes a
discreet. You
while.
can't see me, bro.
fuck off.
Well, I saw an arrow fly by. Oh God, we're under attack, everyone.
All right. Well, in that case, I think that's all that's happening with that for the time being. We'll keep pushing forward.
Okay.
What day is it?
Abby, what time do you need to be in the office?
At 9, so I have like another half hour.
Okay.
What about you, Kai? How are we doing here?
What time is it? I have like probably 15 minutes before I need to start getting ready.
All right. All right. Well, shoot.
Well, I
How
could
many
go
of
ask
these things-
Lucina for help if we want.
All right. We could play with this a little bit instead of pushing forward into another encounter.
Right.
We've
'cause
done. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these so far already. All right. All right. Yeah. You wanna consult Lucina on this?
Yeah, but I want to like stealthily try and like scare her.
Okay. How you doing that?
Not like scare, but like I want to like stealth behind her and sneak up on her.
All right. Make a stealth check.
What's that? 10. I would see that based off my
Yep,
passive perception.
that is correct.
Of
So
13.
Dang.
you kind of step on a twig as you make your approach on Lucina, and she says, "Oh,
Yeah, what's up?
Psst.
More discreet ways of gaining someone's attention, but I walk over.
And then okay, come with me. And then can we go find like a clearing or something?
sure, yeah, it's like the evening. Everyone's sort of like parked by the campfires for the night. You guys can sort of pull off to the side and like find a sort of secluded area to do this."
Okay, Lucina, I found this bow, but I don't know how to use it. So will you teach me?
I'm just looking. I assume it's out on the floor, just laying there.
I'll like hold it up for her.
Okay. Just looking at like, what even? Is that even real? That doesn't look real. Just kind of poke it.
Say, I think it's real. I won't.
It
I'll, like,
feels
have to
solid
pull it
as you
back,
poke it.
and then I'll like try to shoot an arrow to show her.
All right, you pull back on the string, and you focus on a tree kind of across the clearing. You pull back on the string, and another arrow appears into it, and you fire. Make an attack roll, and add your dex.
Oh god.
You missed the tree.
Yeah, I thought so.
Well. Okay, so you have not a clue as to what you're doing. Well, actually, no, that's wrong. You know how to pull on the string, so that's good.
Yeah, I watched you do that.
Okay.
But it didn't break. So I don't know if I'm doing that right.
Okay.
Nice bow there, by
Taliah,
the way.
take inspiration. Oh, that was good. You probably already have inspiration, but that's funny.
I don't, but it looks super cool. It's like a dragon.
Yeah, take some inspiration.
And then wait, who's getting just Taliah?
Just Taliah. She made a
I
funny
figured.
joke as opposed to your bullshit jokes.
Off, they're great, you know it. Anyway, I just looking at it. Where was I going with this? Well, probably just go off on like a side rant real quick about not buying any bows from a gnome or anything like that, because that's where you get the bad bowstrings. But after that, because I'm not
you
gonna
were really shitting on gnomes' craftsmanship.
well, a longbow. They have disadvantage with longbows because they're heavy weapons.
That's probably true. All right, fair
true.
enough.
It's in the handbook.
I'll rescind my accusation of racism.
Anyways, just okay. So what? Do you not know anything other than to pull the string back? And I mean, you're lucky here in that you don't really need to worry about the bow knocking the arrow on the right side, because that's less accurate than being on the left. So that's good.
Uh-huh.
And all right, well, unfortunately, with a longbow, you're really kind of it's a bit unwieldy. So it's a good thing you're not any smaller than you are, because then you wouldn't really be able to use it that well. But and I'm blanking on what I was gonna do originally, because I actually have done some archery, and but I just blanking on what I was gonna go with next. But kind of show her the proper way, like a proper bow stance for.
Do you demonstrate this at all? Are you doing this lesson? Like, do you show her on the bow, or do you use your own bow? How is this lesson
I won't
going?
let her touch mine. Besides,
Okay.
like, poking it. You can't hold it or anything.
Well, I would show her on mine, but then I would do kind of the teacher thing, where it's like, you hold it, I'll move your hand to where it should be, that sort of stuff.
Okay, I kind of like this. All right, you guys are sort of doing your lesson. Talia, make another attack roll as you take aim on a tree.
Hey, we're getting better.
See, I'm a good teacher.
Something interesting happens here as you fire the arrow. It's definitely on target for the tree. Just as you expect to hear it thunk into the tree, it doesn't. The arrow just disappears. Like, you saw it going straight for the tree, and then it didn't go into the tree.
Oh, it loves trees.
Either that, or it went through the tree and it's
Lucina,
down,
make an investigation check as you watch this happen. You saw the arrow go through the tree. Like, you saw it. It was on target for the tree. It came out the other side of the tree and kept going.
Can I aim at a rock?
Sure.
I knew arrows were piercing weapons, but geez, that's a whole new level.
I mean, you don't have to roll for that. It went through the
It
rock.
won't be a strength. It'd be dex.
Yeah. It goes through the rock.
So
I kind of want to aim at Lucina, but I probably shouldn't.
You do that, and I will quick draw you down faster than you can believe.
Okay. Sorry, I just want to test it.
Just aim at her foot. It'll be okay.
If you aim at her, she has her hand on her sword and is ready to jump in.
I'll heal you right after.
I don't care.
Dang,
Shoot
okay.
yourself in the foot.
Okay, I'll try and shoot myself in the foot.
Oh, that's
Roll for damage.
What's the damage?
It's 1d8, I think.
1d8 plus dex.
Yeah, longbow's 1d8 plus dex.
So yeah, I'll say you probably didn't go full strength on that. So I'll take half damage on that. You've hit yourself for 2 points of damage. The arrow did not go through your foot.
Ow! Okay,
I
it
mean,
worked.
it
Ow.
did. It did go through your foot, but not in the way we're talking.
It didn't keep going.
Okay, it's flesh arrows or something. Ow.
Make
I think
another
we're done
Arcana
tonight.
check with investigation or with advantage. I mean. All right, you've figured this out. What you are dealing with is an ethereal bow.
That's what I thought.
So basically, this bow pretty much it's a +1 bow that ignores cover.
Awesome, and it doesn't hurt trees.
Yes, because trees are cover, not creatures. So.
By that description, will the attack pierce?
Yeah, that's actually really good.
What's that?
That's really good just because
I think that as that's written, it would pierce targets because it says the arrow dissipates at the end of its range. So if you have like 3 kobolds lined up, I think that's written to go through all 3 of them.
It can move through solid objects without harming them until the arrow hits the target or dissipates at your maximum range.
Yeah.
Well, what if you're targeting the last one in this in a line? Would it do
Then it
damage?
wouldn't hurt the other ones.
Stop trying to
DM
fucking
Then the
game this
DM
shit.
smites you for metagaming. You can't just have a nice thing. You
Well, no.
gotta make it broken.
That's
It was
actually
gonna
something
be.
I would
It was
try.
just gonna be a +1 bow, and I decided to make it cooler again. And you guys are trying to screw with this.
I
Hey,
wasn't
I
doing
never
that.
did.
Hey.
I never did anything with my shield. I just accepted it was cool.
Yes. This is why we can't have nice things. Okay. But yes, you have an ethereal bow now, and you know what? Because I like this, I will say that you can keep on like working with Lucina over the course of this journey to maybe gain like if you two want to work really closely together to work with bows, we can eventually get it to the point where you gain proficiency with this. I'm not going to give it to you yet, but yes, you have an ethereal bow +1. You are not proficient in it yet, but one day maybe.
Okay. I'm gonna limp back to camp now.
Meanwhile,
Sure are.
Lucina's just talking to herself. I never thought I'd be a teacher this early. And walks back.
Okay. So, Lucina and Taliah had a moment here that the rest of you are aware of. And I think that's probably a pretty good place to end it for the evening, or for the day. Because I don't want to really just get into something and then have to wrap it up quickly. What's everyone giggling about?
Yes.
Discord.
She's Katniss.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna take next time we get stat increase. I'm gonna take the dual wielding feat, and I'm gonna be able to use bows at once.
That would be quite the feat.
Yeah.
And then if I get to a fighter where I can use 2 more weapons, I can have 4. Because I think it just doubles it.
Makes sense. I mean, yeah, that logic tracks. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. 2 bows put together, 2 double barrel bows.
All right. Well, this was fun. I'm
Yes.
kind of sad we didn't get more time to do this. We haven't even made it out of up to Dragonspear yet.
Well, we're what, like right
quite the
there
hike.
now?
Yeah, we're probably shift on up to about here. But we're making progress. And that gives me some time to write in some NPCs that I want to include anyways, so.
Yay.
Alright, I'm gonna end the stream here.
Cool.
So,
Bye, stream.
Goodbye.
goodbye, single viewer. It was a good...
Bye.
You awesome.